This video may contain adult language, content, and themes. Though devoted to toys and adult collectibles, viewer caution is advised.
A few moments later.
If anyone wasn't aware, there's a new Supergirl movie coming out this weekend starring Millie Alcock.
Miss Alcock.
Weird how a clip from a 1959 movie can still be used and be relevant in 2026. Even weirder is that that movie was only a year before Supergirl herself was introduced into the comic books. Small world. But we are not here for Supergirl. No, we are here for the cult favourite character, Lobo. Here he is in box with that awesome artwork by Gabriel Del Otto. Again, I'm sorry if I butcher that. The artwork is from Omega Man number 3. No, not that one from June 1983. Again, weird how it's June now also. I do suspect that this artwork was chosen as a meta nod and wink to the original first appearance of Lobo in that 1983 issue of the Omega Men. You'll notice too, I'm only reviewing the Platinum figure too, and I'll explain my reasoning shortly. Here he is with my Kit Bash Supergirl. Have to tie this video in with the movie as much as I can, I suppose. The accessories that come with this figure are just great. I'm starting off small and working my way up to the figure. I love the very stylized knife with the black handle and the skull on the hilt. I think that's the hilt. Very big, extreme 90s gun. The molding is very clean, barely any greeble or fine detailing. But to me, these accessories screams 1990s excess. And the last accessory also screams that very 90s excess, the stylized hook and real chain, which I will always prefer over plastic. He also comes with his very own drug of choice, a space dolphin. Yes, Lobo has an affinity towards dolphins, space dolphins to be exact. In the comics, they do soothe the savage Sarnian, and I may butcher that also the same way I can't seem to say obsidian. Apparently, even though I'm English, I suck at it. Here's his card bio, and I'm showing this because I have a small grammatical grievance. He's not the last survivor. It should be known he killed everyone on his home planet for a laugh. My grievance is he is the surviving member. It's simple English. Lobo himself is nicely cast. His whites and blues are given a lighter blue wash in certain areas, which really do help add some depth and pulls that molded detail out so well. This, I believe, is the third time out for this body mold specifically, with only new head and new kneecaps or boot tops, if you so wish. He's got a good amount of mobility for a bigger figure. Much like, say, Professor Pig, it does surprise me just how posable Chunky McFarlane figures are. My negatives on Lobo are very small, and for all the other reviews I've seen on this guy, it's pretty much the same thing. Spare hands or a different head sculpt. But for $35 or thereabout, we are still getting quite a lot in box for the price tag. The amount of painted detail too has to be in the positive. The hair wash of the whites painted on his boot tops are just great. Should you pick this version up, specifically the Platinum? Yes. Now, I have seen some artwork for the new Lobo comic series for the DC Next Level subline, and you'd think, oh yeah, that's what this Platinum is based off of. And it makes sense. The colours are very similar. Wrong. It's based off his big redesign from his 1990 to 1991 miniseries. Drawn by Simon Beasley and written by Keith Giffen and Alan Grant. Now, Alan Grant you may know as part of the 1980s, 1990s British invasion of comics. Simon Beasley was a part of that. He is a massive cult favourite, and yes, he redesigned Lobo and it stuck. From his miniseries to his ongoing to cartoon appearances and TV, and some would argue even the new movie, every visual representation we have had since that miniseries is at least in part to Simon Beasley's artwork. Tim Beasley shown here, no relation. And for those of you who stuck around and got that reference, welcome in. Hit that like, share and subscribe. We're going to get along just great. Now you may say, it's just a coincidence, Toy Scourge. You're just mad about nothing. Ranting on about comic history that has no relevance to this figure whatsoever. No, because they moulded the figure's face sculpt from his first issue of the miniseries. Need more? They remoulded and painted his boot tops exactly how Simon Beasley painted them in the comics. The Bite Me fanboy seems so appropriate because no one else has said much, if anything, about this. Now, personality-wise, he's changed a little, but that's only because Keith Giffen was one of his original creators and has kept writing for him on and off since then. Lobo originally looked like an old school 70s Alice Cooper, but I guess Simon added in some Kiss eye makeup, Lemmy from Motorhead, and that's the Lobo we've ended up with. This to me is the definitive Lobo DC Multiverse figure. I sense that Todd McFarlane really likes pushing subtle nods towards artists in the Multiverse line, as, if you know your comics history, he and other artists broke away from DC and Marvel and formed Image. Like, you know, visual Image, like artwork. Subtle, I know. My own crazy aside, this figure ticks all the boxes for me. If you want a Lobo figure that stands out on your shelf, buy the Platinum version. A regular will do, but to me, the regular black and white just will always pale in comparison to this version. My God, this video feels like it has been relentless. Now, if you don't mind, frag off, you posers, and bite me, fanboys. I will see you in the next time. Thanks for checking out the video, and see you later.